When we look at mock drafts, there's a very clear trend who goes number one overall. It is almost always a quarterback, a defensive end, or an offensive tackle. And actually the last number one overall pick that wasn't one of those three positions was 1996. That's because the value of those three positions are the highest out of any other position on the field. So we have to remember this when we talk about who the first overall picks are versus who the best overall player in the draft is. Because of all the prospects I've covered so far, safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame is the guy who can legitimately be an Earl Thomas-like talent in Cam Chancellor's body at 6'4", 225 pounds. But it makes sense, him being the son of a professional basketball player, his mix of size and athleticism. He's the best overall prospect and is such a complete player, and in my opinion, the most likely to have the highest level of success out of anyone in this draft class. There are so many reasons why to think this, but instead of telling you, let's take a dive into some film and I can show you what makes him so special in Kyle Hamilton's draft profile. And before we get into the film analysis, I want to play a little game with you guys that's a little variation of Where's Waldo called Where's Kyle Hamilton, because one of his best traits with his size and his athletic ability is he's able to play multiple positions in the secondary. So all of these plays are going to be from the 2020 Rose Bowl game against Alabama, and we are going to guess before the snap of the ball where Kyle Hamilton is on the field. And on this first one, it seems pretty easy because Notre Dame is in a one high and Kyle Hamilton's the safety, but he is actually going to be right here man-to-man with the slot receiver on this play. And this is how he can just be the duct tape for the team, like a Micah Parsons if there's injuries or they're playing a certain team like the Chiefs or the Ravens that have very different play styles. They're going to be able to put him all over the field. Right here, he's going to be playing the left side of the field in a two-high shell, but obviously isn't always going to be on the same side because right now he's going to be on the right side of the field in two-high shell. And being able to play two high and one high is a huge advantage with the same personnel grouping. So is this Kyle Hamilton like he was last time when the Alabama ran this formation? Nope. Now he's going to be the single high safety in this set. And on the last one we're going to look at, is he what we saw before? Is he the single high? Is he in the slot? Actually, he's going to be right here. He's the most outside guy, kind of like in a corner-like position right outside this H-back. So as you can see, he will line up all over the field. And as we get into the film, we're going to see how versatile he is in the run and in the passing game. And in this film analysis, we're actually going to start looking at what he can do in the run game because we know he has range in the passing game if you've seen him play any games at Notre Dame, but his range translates so well into the run game, and play recognition like this is exactly why I think he's an Earl Thomas-like player in Cam Chancellor's body, 6'4", 225 pounds. You can obviously tell he watches film because right on the snap of the ball, he knows exactly where this play is going. He's even beating linebackers to the spot. He takes great pursuit angles, and he is one of the most sure tacklers that we're going to see coming out of the secondary in the last few draft classes. And I'm mentioning this because I don't think as many people are going to be talking about this right here. So this is going to be a third and long. They're going to be in a deep quarters coverage, but right away he sniffs out run, beating the linebackers to the spot, having all the range in the world to be the first person to the quarterback. And from a single high position, he's able to shoot the gaps and make tackles for losses in the backfield, which is just insane. And at the top of your screen, he is very aggressive and he's not going to let any yards go to waste. But we're going to see a little bit later how he changes his technique tackling when he knows he's going to be the last person there. But he's still going to fill this run gap just as good as a linebacker would, but starting from 12 yards deep. He just has great feel and great instincts and is able to fill the gaps, and he has a huge body. So I can see a lot of NFL teams like Notre Dame use them, and like they use Isaiah Simmons for the Cardinals, using them in the box a lot as a flat defender and having him be a huge part of the run game, but being very disruptive in the passing game as well. And you want to talk about range? Let's look at this play right here. Not only is this range, but this is just flat out hustle. So we're going to pause the video right here. Now, the receiver just caught the ball at the bottom of the screen, but where's Kyle Hamilton? Kyle Hamilton is right here, and I just want you to watch him for the remainder of this play. It's the hustle. Everyone else behind is kind of lagging on, and he actually makes the touchdown-saving tackle from all the way across the field. But I also love how he's so smart and has great football instincts, and he's really able to throttle it down when he knows that this situation. So as we saw before, he was super ultra aggressive in the run game, but in this game, he's going to come up on Najee Harris, but he's going to see if he doesn't make this tackle right now, it is going to be a 97-yard touchdown. So he really breaks down, plays a lot more conservatively, makes sure he's not going to get beat. He's not going to get every single yard for loss, but he's going to make the game save or the touchdown saving tackle. And the next 3 plays I'm going to show you guys are all going to be on 4th and 1, and he's going to make huge plays, this first one being against Navy. He sees the motion back, so he's going to follow him over, but the corner does a terrible job keeping contained. The quarterback is going to have a great lane to the outside, but Kyle Hamilton, being as long and as rangy as he is going to stuff it for a loss and get the turnover. And this is what truly makes him one of the most freak athletes in this entire draft class. This receiver is going to go in motion and get the jet sweep handoff on a 4th and 1, but he is going to outrange and outleverage all the blocks to make a tackle for loss, and you can see how pumped up he is about this because this is going to be a huge play if he doesn't convert right here. And the last 4th and 1 play we're going to look at, this is a beautiful design play from Florida State because they know that Notre Dame's going to be loading the box. So they're actually going to do this little play action, and this running back is going to look like he's lead blocking but leaking in the flats. This is Kyle Hamilton right here. He has this guy man-to-man right now, but he doesn't get lost. He reads his keys perfectly, and he's able to make a huge stop on this play. This is just great football IQ, and also trusting your eyes, trusting your keys, and being able to get all the way downfield to guard your man in the flats and stop this 4th and 1 conversion. And if you had to pick one play just to show that he's the best player in this entire draft class, regardless of position, it's going to be this one right here. And this whole entire video could honestly just be this one play on repeat for 10 minutes straight because this shows it all. This shows the range covering over 2/3 of the field. Not only this is going to be a huge play from Florida State, but it ends up being an interception. He reads the quarterback's eyes, the range, the length to get all the way across the field. I mean, just look at where he starts and look at where he ends up. He covers over 40 yards. I saw some advanced analytics that said he covered over 40 yards from the start to stop of this play. This is truly incredible. And maybe man-to-man coverage deep down the field isn't going to be his strongest suit, but he can absolutely still do it. Kyle Hamilton right now is going to be man-to-man, and as the play breaks down and as the play extends, he's able to stay right on the receiver's hip and be able to carry this all the way in the same Florida State game from the interception we just saw and make a very similar interception, just in a different manner. And again, just trusting your keys, not getting caught up that Navy's a really run-heavy team, but he's going to be man-to-man against this H-back, and this is man-to-man coverage against a double move. He's going to run a post corner. Can definitely tell he's a running back because this is a pretty poor route, but it shows that Kyle Hamilton is going to be able to do this when asked at the NFL level. Just stick on him through the double move and break up this pass. And he is able to play so many positions, but this is really where I think he's going to thrive in the NFL, like in Isaiah Simmons, kind of playing that cover one robber or playing hard in the flats. This gets him closer to the football so he can still be a huge part of the run game, or just keeping everything underneath you, being able to read the quarterback's eyes, be a short tackler. As he comes down here to be the robber, watches the quarterback's eyes, gets this pass break up right here, and in the top of your screen, he's going to be the flat defender, just getting able to get his hands up. This is going to allow him to set the edge, be a huge part of the run game, but they're able to bring around blitzes. But also, as we saw, like in that Florida State game, you are going to be able to put him in a too-high shell where he can cover half, if not 2/3 of the field with ease. But that is going to be huge in whatever NFL team drafts him, because the Arizona Cardinals did a terrible job with Isaiah Simmons, really had a hard time getting him on the field, even with his athletic ability and being able to play multiple positions. But this following year, there was a much better, and I really hope a creative defensive team in the NFL takes him early on in the draft. And I'm sorry if I went over some of these plays a lot faster than I wanted to, but there was so many to get to that I wanted to cover. But this is what I think about Kyle Hamilton. I really think he can be a duct tape-like person like Micah Parsons. When D-Law and Randy Gregory got hurt, he played a lot more defensive end, but he's able to play the middle of the field. He's able to drop back in coverage, and this is exactly what you're getting when you make a selection like Kyle Hamilton. And the only way he's not going to succeed in the NFL if they put him in a standard role where they put a regular safety, because he's not that guy. You want to move him around depending on what the type of matchups are, who's hurt on your team, and this is how he's going to be the best player in this draft class. He has great zone coverage, he is so lengthy, and he has great range and instincts in the run and in the passing game. Some things I'd like to see him work on is his aggressive nature. It does get him beat on some double moves, and sometimes he can read the quarterback's eyes and be manipulated because he wants to cover so much ground. If the quarterback is able to accurately move him with his eyes, he can hit some backside posts, which which happened a few times over the course of the season, but this is why my NFL comparison is an Isaiah Simmons, just a freak of nature athlete that's able to play a bunch of different positions, and he reminds me so much of Earl Thomas with his range, but being 6'4", 225 pounds and being able to be a huge part of the run game, which reminds me a lot more of Cam Chancellor, which is just so special. But that's what I think. Make sure to like this video if you guys like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think about Kyle Hamilton, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the channel, and as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!